Alright, welcome back, my friends. Thank you for standing by. Welcome to Ninja Gaiden. We're gonna try our best to beat this game. I've beaten it a handful of times. I'm not super great at it though, and it's been a while, so it's definitely gonna be rough. This cartridge also is not the greatest. It's been known to glitch and crash, so there's a good chance we may have to restart a time or two. We'll probably be okay for the first few levels. This game starts off not impossibly difficult. It only becomes that way as you move along. There's still a lot about this game that I don't really know or understand. I have a very tenuous grasp on the sub-weapons, and very rarely use them. Done a deathless run of Ninja Gaiden yet, Frownie? I have not, Zergling. That is something I would like to train for. But I'm a long ways off from that. I might be. It could potentially be our next challenge that we end up going for, though. I'm kind of feeling it out tonight. Oh, sorry. I guess I probably shouldn't skip past the story segments for those who are interested in them. I don't read the story out loud in this game because it scrolls by too quickly. Fair enough. It's quite doable once you memorize the bad spots. Yeah, I kinda started work on practicing for it like a year and a half ago. We did a couple nights in a row on the stream, and I'd gotten to where I could beat the game in about an hour, which is like that's a good time. If I'm gonna practice a game, then you know I typically want it to be something that takes about an hour or less. So I mean, it would be a miracle if I made it through this game that quickly tonight, but that was something that I could do semi-reliably at one point, I believe. I feel like the Deathless run is also very doable if you understand and use the sub-weapons correctly. That is a part of my knowledge of the game that is tremendously lacking. This is a bad spot to be in. There we go. Ugh. I actually thought it might be curtains for me there. Oh. Rip the Deathless Run. Hey, Guru Swift, welcome in. Thank you for the good luck. I'll be super lurking while I clean up. Thank you for the lurk. This is one of those games that, like, when you're moving along, like, fluidly, it feels great. And when you're not, it's like, please send help. That was bad. Oh no, I'm deteriorating. It's so difficult for me to believe. Like, this game, it's shocking to me that this is not a Konami game. Because it seems very much like a halfway point between Contra and Castlevania. That it's kind of just shocking to me that it was not made by the people that made those games. Boy, that one pillar there is something I don't know what to do about. In the pit you go. Ninja vanish. Alright, thank goodness. Alright, moving along once more. For now. I actually feel like the first... So there are 6 worlds in this game, and I feel like the first 4 worlds are, like... They're pretty easy. I mean, I know that I blundered there a whole lot, but I have gotten through. I have gotten through stage 2 smoothly in the past. But the difficulty, I think, stays pretty low for the first 4 worlds. And then it's a very tremendous spike as you hit 5 and 6. I don't have a very precise, like, when it comes to the things about the game that I need to develop a better understanding of. One is to learn about what the sub-weapons are, where they are, and, like, where you need to use them. The hitbox of your sword is a little bit mysterious to me. I don't have a very, like, firm, like, feel about, like, where to line up my attacks. I feel like I miss a lot just because I don't really understand where the sword's hitbox is. And I have a lot of trouble with grabbing onto walls that I don't mean to. And I kind of think that they, like, I think that they expect you to have that problem, because in certain places, it seems like the game is designed to crush you by tricking you into grabbing a wall you don't want to. And you're an enemy that can really brutalize you, especially toward the end of the game. I think they really count on novice players grabbing walls they don't want to. But they're mostly things that I should be able to manage. It's all just a lack of familiarity with the game and lack of practice that sort of leads to those things being issues for me. Thank you for the lurk, Baron. I don't know about that one. It's just an unfortunate side effect of certain abilities in games. Blaster Master has the same problem. I mean, maybe. Cool. I did suggest that game crashes were a possibility, as you recall. Lord Malachite, welcome in. Oof, indeed. All right, let me grab some Q-tips. I'll be back with you in a moment. All right, we'll give it another try. You were doing so well at Ninja Gaiden, the cheating game decided it had to crash to keep you from conquering it. That's very flattering, Lord Malachite. It may be a bit inaccurate, though. Oh, and the reason why I say I think that they're counting on that Zergling is because I'm thinking particularly of one area in World 6 where there's a pillar next to a wall, and there's a couple enemies around that spot, and that pillar I don't think has any reason to be there other than for you to get stuck to it when you jump over the enemy's projectiles, because like climbing it doesn't lead you up to anything. there's really... That's the one spot of the game where I feel like they count on you to accidentally grab the wall so that you'll be hit by the enemies in that area. And I think that's why that pillar is there, is to get you stuck. So, like, I definitely don't think that it's everywhere. It's likely to happen intentional in the game. But I think there's one area where it is. Why blame yourself or bad luck when you can blame the game? This game has been the mortal enemy of completionist gamers the world over for generations. This game's a tough one. I have beaten it a handful of times, but it's been a very long while since I played it now. The last time I played it was definitely last year, but I don't even remember when, so it's been several months. Possibly over a year. Apparently some people think cooking steak in a toaster is a good idea, so many so that some fire departments have reminded people to please not do so. I don't know if they actually think it's a good idea, or if they just think that doing it will get them views on TikTok. I have heard of that, though. I have heard a bit about people doing that, and it seems to me there's really no good to that idea. Sounds like a crime against beef in general to do such a thing. The fire risk is definitely there. Those hot coils plus beef tallow equals big flame potential. Oh yeah, no, I think it's wildly dangerous. But that's the thing, is like, it's wildly dangerous and not even worth it, because there is... A toaster does not get hot enough to cook a steak well. Like, if you want to eat a good steak, you don't low and slow it. Hey, Fuzzy Boots, welcome in. Sounds like a waste of a great steak. I've seen big flames over just my stupid chili boiling over the side before, and that was only partially oil. It's bananas to look at a toaster to steak and say, hey, I'm gonna throw this in my toaster as if it's bread. I mean... I don't know. I don't think it's a wise move, but, you know... It is a pretty stunningly not clever thing to do. I'm trying to think when, if ever, I've done something that I would consider to be, like, equally foolish. I'm trying to think, has there been a time, certainly there has been a time where I've done something as foolish as putting a steak in a toaster, right? But, I don't know, I can't think of anything. I'm trying to be generous and think of a comparable blunder, but it's pretty tough. Low and slow is the name of the game with sous vide. Statcat says that's true, but I mean that's a whole different kind of thing too. You're not wrong about that at all, but I mean, I guess putting a steak in a toaster is a whole different thing as well. Even if you sous vide a steak, though, you still want to end up searing it at the end, which, again, is like a very high heat endeavor. Imagine the mess, too. And putting a steak in a toaster is maximizing appliance usage. There is a certain logic to thinking you can do a steak in a toaster, right? Because, like, when you just look at it, like, it looks like it's not that much different from doing a steak in a grill. Like, I could follow the train of thought that leads someone to think that they should do that, but there have to be, like, but it only works. That train of thought only works if there are some pretty serious gaps in your knowledge and wisdom. If you need to be told not to do that, you don't belong in the kitchen. I won't fault someone for doing it. I'll fault someone for doing it multiple times, Statcat says. I mean, I would fault someone for doing it, but... I could... It is within the boundary of my imagination to like see how someone might do that, might end up doing that. Even if you could, it would come out so dried out and charred. Yeah, it wouldn't make a good product. It wouldn't make a good product. That's my biggest thing. It's like, and steak's pretty pricey. It's like, you know, like you might think like, well, maybe the toaster's your only heat source available to you, and you desperately want to have steak. But I mean, someone who does something like that and comes out with the, yeah, that was stupid is alright in my book, StatCat says. Well, I mean, that's what I was trying to say is, you know, I know we all do dumb things, so. This could be up there with like, maybe not quite as I mean, I can think of an example of what I think is a comparable line of thought with something that I've done. When I was a kid, one time I was going to brush my teeth before bed, right? And I didn't have any toothpaste. It had all been used up. And so I thought, well, why don't I just rub my toothbrush against this bar of soap and then I'll brush my teeth with soap. Right? Toothpaste is for cleaning, soap is for cleaning. Why can't I just do that? Bad move. Very bad move. I do not recommend substituting your toothpaste with a bar of ivory as a bar of ivory soap. You can use baking soda if you have to. I did not know that at the time. At the time, I'm pretty sure I didn't even know what baking soda was. It's interesting to me that it was not my solution to think that I should tell my parents I'm out of toothpaste, but instead to be like, I can solve this problem myself. Oh no. Comparable would be like microwaving a whole egg, also incredibly dangerous, but the logic is there. Yeah. Yeah, microwaving eggs is don't do that either. Don't cook stuff that's not bread in a toaster. And don't microwave eggs. Be careful of anything in the microwave in general. You can have some pretty serious accidents. Just with microwaving water. I have forgotten how to fight this boss. We'll be alright. Baking soda used to be used as a toothpaste. Can't forget microwaving turkeys and NyQuil chicken. I haven't heard of either of those. I think you using soap as toothpaste has given you powers to not swear on stream. That's my superhero origin. Oh, that's so good. I did that. I washed my own mouth out with soap. Victory! My microwave doesn't get a ton of use. I tend to use the oven or the stovetop even when I need to reheat something. My microwave is mostly a popcorn machine, and even that I don't really have all that often. Used to use the microwave every day to heat my milk. Now I just use my steam wand on my espresso machine. We used to use it for tea, but we have an electric kettle now. Electric kettle's a good device. I mean, if you drink a lot of tea. I think you can use it for think you can use it for ramen, too. It's another good use for it. We actually haven't tried that. I keep meaning to use the kettle to make ramen instead of boiling the noodles in a pot. Summertime my kettle got a lot of use, although it's summertime now, so I make iced tea. Everything was going just fine. Why? Why, game? This time it is cheating. Ha! I mean, well, that's too bad, Frownie. Thank you, Zergling. I love my daily hot tea, Malachite says. It might be a good idea to make a picture of iced tea. I haven't thought about that in a while. That'd be good. Pour boiling water over the noodles, add the flavor packets in a Pyrex container, cover, let stand 5 minutes, stir and enjoy. That's the plan. Boil my ramen noodles till they become kind of translucent, StatCat says. I usually boil them, so I don't make when I make ramen noodles, I don't make them with broth. I boil the noodles, I pour off all the water, and then I just add the flavoring powder to the noodles, to the kind of dry noodles, and then I just eat them with a fork. And I make them like that, and I eat them like that, because when I was in middle school, the very first time someone made ramen noodles for me, that's how he made them. And so I always thought that was just how they were supposed to be made. And so I ate them like that for years, and then it wasn't until years later that I found out that people make them as with a broth, like a soup. You made instant yakisoba until actual instant yakisoba came out. I've never heard that word before, but it's best if you add the flavor first and then the water so the flavor cooks into them. That makes sense. That makes sense, Lord Malachite. I'm gonna give that a try because while I still eat my noodles without broth, Jelly always makes hers the way the package says. So when I make them for Jelly, I'm gonna try using the kettle and see if they come out to her liking. Seems like whoever made them for you was doing them as a side dish rather than a soup. Add the packet when the water's cold, StatCat says. The packaging does say you can prepare them that way, with no broth. I don't actually remember reading that, but I mean, I don't really read the, I don't read the packaging every time I make ramen or anything, right? If I did, I would have known years earlier that they're usually made with the broth. All right, let me restart the game here. Excuse me another time. All right. Let's see if the game betrays me again. It works so fine until it doesn't. if we do a deathless run of Ninja Gaiden at some point, which is, you know, an eventual plan of mine, as foolish as it might seem with how bad I am at the game currently. You know, I do think it is something I will be able to do at some point if I play it a lot. But if we do that, I'm gonna have to also do a sword only deathless run, because I already use the sword so heavily. I kind of think that's gonna be mandatory. Tonight's goal is a crashless run. Yeah, that's all I want. Have one that makes it all the way through the game. Frownie might have to laugh with me if it freezes again. Is it your NES or the game itself that usually freezes? I don't know, StatCat. I think that the NES... I definitely know the NES could use a little work. Tusk, welcome in. Pleasure to have you with us. How was your Jankulai? Jankulai got off to a rough start. I mean, as it's supposed to, I guess. So we played Let's Ride Sunshine Stables. I didn't finish it, so we're gonna need to play it some more. I barely scratched the surface, it seems, so we might be stuck with that game for a while. It got off to a rough start, but I learned a little bit about the game, so I would say there's more of that in our future. So if you're sad you missed it tonight, you know, just tune in early, because there's more of it coming up. Now we're gonna try and play a good game though. Oh, but about the NES. So I know that one of the things about the NES, or what I think is like inside the NES where the cartridge slides in, like the pins that make contact with the cartridge inside the NES have a tendency to be bent away over time. And so, like, that's one of the reasons that, like, there are poor connections. So probably that part could use, like, being bent back into shape or replaced is sort of one thing that would probably help a bit. And then, you know, like the cartridges in my collection are... I do my best to take care of them, but, you know, they're old and some of them have seen rather rough lives. And I don't, you know, really know a lot of their histories. This one looks to be in good shape, but I mean, that can only tell you so much, right? This cartridge, though, does seem like to have a history of having some crash problems. So, you know, I went into the game saying it was probably going to glitch and or crash because it has behaved that way in the past. But I have also successfully made it through the game several times, so I know it is possible to run through the whole thing. The ZIF connector can be bent back into shape, yeah. Yeah, I think that is something that I do kind of need to do to my NES. I don't know when I'll get around to it. Probably later rather than sooner, but... It is something that occasionally crosses my mind, is like... I ought to get around to doing that. Not running the Carfax on your carts. Cartfax. That's great. Saw someone get Barbie Horse Adventure redeemed for them not too long ago, and I had a good chuckle. They asked me how I know about that game, and I said Jankuary. So, I actually had planned to play this game, the Sunshine Stables. I actually had planned to play it back in January. But then I fell into that endless spiral of Taz games, and maybe you should hold a subathon to afford a top loader. You know what? I have a top loader, Lord Malachite, and it doesn't work. I don't know what to do about it. It doesn't work? I'm listening. Yeah, I'm not sure, I'm just not sure at all. No signal comes out of it. Well, I would have to look at it again, StatCat. It's been months since I've looked at it. Like, I think it gets a signal, but it's like... It's just like a... It's just like a black and gray scramble. Or... I mod and repair consoles. I might could use your services for that. It hasn't really been a priority for me though, because I have a top-loading Famicom, which is for me better than the top-loading NES. Like, I have a Model 2 Famicom, which is better for me than the NES because it has composite out. And I'm kind of thinking about, well, I want to get a Famicom flash cart, and then I'll just be able to play NES games on that. So, like, because I have a reliable piece of hardware, I just don't have the software for it. Basically, I mean, I know a flash card is a piece of hardware, right? But you get what I'm saying, right? Because I have that as an option, I haven't really prioritized getting the top loader repaired. It's crossed my mind because if it worked, it would be, I think, more reliable, but yeah, and it's only RF out. You know, I don't know if we're going to make it through this game. I don't know that I'm going to get this to behave long enough to make it through. This is getting to be... One moment. Williamsburg, welcome in. Pleasure to have you with us. much as I, of course, want to use my physical cartridges as much as possible, there is a very powerful allure to the idea of just using a flash cart with the top-loading Famicom. Rip. It would be nice if the wall grab wasn't something that happened, you know, automatically every time you touch a grabbable wall. It'd be nice if it were something like where you had a shoulder button that, you know, you hold down to grab the wall. I mean, I know there are no shoulder buttons on the NES, but, I always feel like overall I'd be a lot more comfortable if I had power over the wall grab. run. Is this further than we've been all night? I don't feel like I've seen this stage yet tonight. I don't know what to do about this guy. Spin jump really helps. No, I was facing the wrong way. Rip the 1cc. No. Oh. It's crazy the situations that lead to my doom sometimes. What? That guy's never fired at me before. I mean, I knew he could, but... I didn't think he was ever going to actually have the opportunity. My goodness, I thought the game crashed again. Good thing I picked up that extra health. I don't think I've ever realized before, like, how many, like, platform structures there are in this game that just kind of get reused across different levels. Quick! I thought my odds of defeating that boss damageless were pretty low, but sometimes it's hard not to hope. No! Ouch. This guy's the final boss of the game. Just run past him. All right, let's go. Oh, all the way back down here. Ouch. Victory. There are a lot of stages in this game that I just don't remember. Nice. I didn't know that was there, but I was hopeful. I disagree. This pillar right here, this pillar exists because they want you to not be able to jump over that guy's projectile and attack him, right? So that's not actually what I was thinking of earlier when I talked about using the wall grab against the player, but that's another place where I'm pretty sure that they're intentionally doing that. Because I want to jump over that guy's boomerang and charge him, and I can't do it because when I jump over his boomerang, I get stuck to that pillar. I know that pillar is there to help me get up that wall, but I think the two things go together. I know I didn't have any health left. But I hope that just maybe it would have been enough to get me by him. It was not. Sure where the boomerang guy went. No. Those purple bars on either side of the screen, I feel like that's not something we see all that often. I don't feel like there are a lot of NES games I play where that kind of thing happens. There are definitely some, but I feel like it's not really that common. No, I forgot about the bat. Alright, well, we made it through the door. That's all that matters. Anytime I have to do one of those, like, single wall climbs like that, it's a miracle if I survive them. Something is not sitting right in my stomach all of a sudden. I feel like, I have like a wave of nausea come over me. I saw that guy sneaking up on me. Go, go, go! I can't believe I made that awful jump across that gap where you have to lower yourself down. Can't believe I made that my first try. That was stunningly lucky. I don't remember how to get past this part. Hey, Flux, welcome in. This game was a childhood curse for my brother and I. I never played this one as a kid, but I mean, it is a nightmare. I like this game a lot, but it is kind of super agonizing. I'm just trying. I'm just trying to relearn how to get past this guy. The memory I have is being sent back to in fairly earlier parts when you lose. I mean, that definitely is a feature of this one. There was never any hope for me, was there? I think we're doing all right for as long as it's been since I played this. Yeah, there's so many enemies that, like, there's so many enemies where you're basically guaranteed to have to pause on their spawn point so that they can just run at you endlessly. I could not grab the ladder. I got lucky there. I got real lucky there. Okay, I don't actually have a strategy for this boss. Could you tell? It's alright, they can make me repeat the level, but they can't take away the knowledge that I gained. My wisdom will see me through. I am shocked and amazed that I didn't die. I projected an air of confidence, but it was all lies. No, I'm stuck to the thing. Victory! We did it. All right. Let's go. Stage 6, the final calamity. I hope you like World 6, my friends, because we are going to be here for a while. That was so close. I mean, as close as you can humanly be, right? Rush Pirate says, I love and hate this game. I'm pretty much right there with you. I would say I love the game in general, but there's certain parts of it that are just so painful that you can't not hate it just a little bit. Right here, this part, I feel like, because that pillar really does nothing for you. So I feel like, I mean, it does get you up to this, but I don't know. I feel like they're using the controls against you here to make you get stuck to the hat thing. Yeah, like the first 4 worlds of this game are like super fun, just, you know, moving through. It's fluid and fast-paced and not a care in the world. And then the last couple worlds, the last 2 worlds are just a never-ending nightmare of agony. Always super impressed with challenge runners. I'd like to be able to do a deathless run of this game someday, but boy, I'm gonna need a lot of practice. I don't know what part's the hardest part yet for me. It's kind of all the hardest part. After World 4, it's like I just kind of have trouble everywhere. Yeah, no help, please. Thank you for that. Hey, Odorama, welcome in, Eddie. One thing that is going really well for me with this playthrough, despite everything that's going terribly for me, is I'm doing a pretty good job at jumping onto ledges that have enemies. Like platforms have enemies on them. I'm doing a pretty good job at, I feel like, jumping onto the platforms with the enemies and taking care of them. Better, I think, than I normally do anyway. Oh my goodness, just make it into the door. So here's the thing about this game. I don't actually know how to fight these last bosses. One away. Life is miserable. If somehow you're watching the stream and you didn't know, this is why this game is awful. If you die at the last boss, you go all the way back to the start of World 6. 4 levels back. I guess 3 levels back, technically. But a whole lot of rooms. What a nightmare. What a terrible nightmare this game is. It's moments like these. This is when you wonder, why do I like this game? What are this game's redeeming qualities? They seem non-existent right now. Hey, Quantum, welcome in. World 6, aka the actual game, yeah. I mean, it kind of is, right? It's just like Loop 2 is the actual game of for ghouls, super ghouls and ghosts. That's where all the game is. This is where all the game is in this one. That seems to be shaped in such a way that I can't actually make it up there. That room's not really so bad once you, as long as you remember to despawn that guy on the platform. It's like when you beat the last boss in Loop 2 with the wrong weapon. Yeah. I like that comparison. Hey, we appeared to have a raid. Wally 4000, welcome in. Thank you for the raid. Welcome to your friends. How are you? We are playing Ninja Gaiden. We were playing, July is the month of Jankulai for me, so we were playing some trash earlier. We were playing Let's Ride Sunshine Stables. That went pretty rough. And I'm not done with it, so if you're sad you missed it, don't worry. I have plenty of opportunities to tune in to catch it another time. But now we're playing some Ninja Gaiden. This is a game, I've beaten this game a handful of times. I'm not very good at it, and it's been a while, so things are a little rough. I'm having fun, but I'm also suffering. Hopefully your stream went well. I'm good, thanks. Jenks a Gaiden. Yeah, it kind of feels like that when you're in World 6 getting sent back all the time. On the one hand, I worry a little bit not updating my title that people will think that I'm accusing Ninja Gaiden of being terribly jank. And I feel bad about that possibility until I get sent back. When I get sent back in World 6, then I think, you know what? Maybe this game is kind of jank. Just playing Asterix on the Master System. Got to the last stage, but gave up. It's getting late. I think we've all been there. I haven't played that game myself, but definitely know the feeling of having to throw in the towel on a late night. I wish you good luck when next you return to it. No. Oh, yeah. Bird. Know most of the stages off the back of my head. Get confused toward the end. Wasn't sure what was next. And it'd been a hot minute. Kind of like with this game, I've played it enough that like I understand, like I remember the game, I remember most of the stages in general, and I can remember a few like particular sort of parts, but it's difficult to like remember like what order they come in and how you're supposed to approach them. Gotta do some stuff before bed. Catch you. Thank you again for the raid. And yeah, no worries. You gotta get to bed. I don't blame you at all. Have a wonderful night. Come on, he's one hit away. Oh, goodness. His body hurts me. I was not exaggerating, by the way, when I said that I'm not good at any of the phases of this boss fight. In case you had some hope that after blundering the first one, I would turn things around. Let's put that to rest. I'm not even good at Phase 3, and Phase 3 is the easy one. I want to figure out how to get through here without using the spin jump. It's gotta be possible. I guess it doesn't have to be, but... I will declare that it is regardless. Ugh, it's awful. No. Well, that's not really a good way to get through there, but I did make it through without it. Good night, friends. Have a wonderful stream, Rush Pirate says. Good night, Rush Pirate. Thank you for being here. Have a wonderful rest of your night, my friend. trying to get through there without the spin jump, and then just kind of, you know, blundering my way through as I did. It's kind of a good like microcosm for the whole stream, because like I'm getting reacquainted with this game to a degree, but for the most part, I'm not learning anything viable or as like repeatable strategies. I'm just kind of refamiliarizing myself with what the game is like and where things are, generally speaking. Boy, if I do a sword-only run, getting through there without that timer is really gonna hurt. Because I know one of those boomerang guys spawns. No. Well, I did better. I did better than I did the first time. What's the general opinion on the SNES remake of this trilogy? Better, worse, or about the same? I'm afraid I couldn't fill you in. I don't know. I haven't ever given it a try myself. I've only played, so far, I've only played this one and the second game on the NES. I haven't even played Ninja Gaiden 3 yet on the NES. I've got a lot to learn when it comes to the series. My guess, and it's kind of just mostly it's a complete guess. My guess is that the first game, at least, is probably considered worse on the Super Nintendo, because I see people playing this one all the time. I never see anyone playing the Super Nintendo game. But then again, having not played it myself, I would kind of not go looking for it, so like I would probably avoid it, but I've got a handful of people on my follow list that I feel like I see somewhat frequently playing this game, but yeah, never the Super NES one. Look at those hands with eyes in them. Oh, in the background. I know Nintendo didn't make this game, but Nintendo loves hands with eyes in the palms. Like, that's like Nintendo's favorite boss design. It shows up all the time. I need this health. We'll try that again. Players in the family lived overseas a few years because my dad worked in England. Game cartridge was actually called Shadow Warrior. I feel like, yeah, that sounds familiar to me. I mean, I wouldn't have ever played that version, but... like a lot of media wasn't allowed to use the word ninja in Europe, right? So we had the Hero Turtles over there. So probably the, same effect going on for this game. No. I have a health lead on him, but it's gonna go away. I'm getting damaged way too much. I guess I really just want to play World 6 again, huh? Oh no! Time over, really? Life is awful. I hate video games. I don't think I've ever had that happen before. This is a bad game. I'm mad at you, Ninja Gaiden. I'm very mad at you. Before you start to get hopeful, let me inform you, yes, I am bad at stage 3 of the boss too. Phase 3 is the easy phase, and I'm even bad at that. What actually happened to you when time runs out? Yeah. That's why, that's, you know... Time limits are, that's one of the key reasons why they're disgusting, time limits in video games. Because there's nothing to contextualize it. A little bit of context will allow me to put up with a lot of nonsense in games, but people so rarely bother. People so rarely bother. They're always just content, you know, with the, you know, it's a video game, so of course there's a time limit. Like Alien 3, there's a time limit in Alien 3, right? But it makes sense because in Alien 3 you're rescuing space marines, and the timer is contextualized because it's the amount of time you have before the aliens burst out of their chests and they all die. And so it's like, alright, time limit's fair, there's a reason for it. You know, and mechanically, it doesn't serve any purpose other than, you know, it doesn't serve any purpose like different from the time limit in this game. It's just there as a piece of difficulty to keep you moving, but because they contextualized it within the world of the game, I'm okay with the time limit. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm not saying make up your own context. No, you shouldn't do the... You don't need to... You shouldn't have to do the work for the developers. It's on them to provide the context. Forced speedruns by the game are very stressful. Yeah. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of a time limit for no reason. I don't think they're inherently bad. I just think there should be a reason in the game universe for it. You know, like, as stressful as the time limits are in, like, Majora's Mask or Pikmin, they have a very good reason to exist, so I'm okay with dealing with the stress in those games. Alright, let me try and stay focused here. Actually, let me read this comment first. It's fine when someone's trying to speedrun a game and set a record. The only pressure is the pressure they put on themselves. When a game forces you into an artificial one all the time, it's stress-inducing. Yeah. You know, sadly, even my favorite video game, even Super Ghouls and Ghosts, is guilty of putting a time limit on you. But, you know, that game is like... I had every advantage in it, but it's just completely gone away. I could, in theory, still win this, but no, it's not gonna happen. World 6. Here we go again. Oh, my audio is very far off. There we go. Should fix it. That's one of the, it's one of the worst things about retro games, right? So many of them have time limits. And, like, they only have time limits because arcade machines have time limits, right? To keep people moving along and feeding quarters in. So, like... you can understand where the video game time limits come from, but they don't make sense on the console, on a console game. So, it's, There's no purpose other than to annoy the player. Some games from the 80s didn't have time limits, but they would ramp up the difficulty if you weren't feeding quarters often enough. Fair enough. That actually sounds much worse. No. That sounds like a much more painful thing to do to the player. I made it through there without the spin jump, and I didn't take any damage. I have no idea how I did it, so I won't be able to replicate it, but it is possible. Player must die difficulty. The worst offender that I can think of is the Sonic games. I absolutely hate, one, that the time limit exists in Sonic games, because it's at direct odds with the level design. That's very open and sprawling, encouraging exploration, and then they give you a time limit to punish exploration. So I hate that. And then two, I hate how it functions, because when you die, the timer keeps running. So the timer only resets when you die from a time over. So if you die with 1 second left on the timer, then your next life begins with 1 second, and then you time over. It immediately loses second life. Sonic games are the worst for that. I cannot stand it. It is the worst timer system ever. Yeah, it happened to me countless times. I'm not very good at Sonic games, you see, so I died a lot. And if you die a lot, then it's only a matter of time before you get to see that. I never noticed that. I thought when you died, the timer reset to where it was when you tagged the last lamppost. I mean, I could be mistaken about some degree of the details, but I do know that multiple times in Sonic games I have died and respawned to a new life with only seconds on the clock and then immediately died a second time. If it works the way that you think, like maybe I grabbed the... No, I don't think that's right. I was gonna say maybe I grabbed the lamppost, the lamppost, the checkpoint, Maybe I grabbed that with only seconds left, and so I respawned with only seconds left, but I don't think that can be right, because I have a pretty clear memory of being stuck at a boss with that happening to me. I got to a boss, I died at the boss, respawned at the checkpoint right before the boss, and then died like 2 or 3 seconds later because of the timer. Before I could even make it back to the boss, I had died because of the timer a second time, and something that infuriating sticks with you. But either way is terrible. Any system where you respawn with too little time left on the clock to actually make any progress is disgusting. I have every advantage I'm ever gonna have. Come on, Frownie. Don't blunder. I hate this. I don't know why I'm so wicked terrible at this boss. It's gotta take its own, like, special kind of talent to be this bad at something, right? I can't land any hits. I'm so frustrated. Flux, this is not a audience participation stream. Please don't give me advice. The no backseating policy is very strict here. Yeah, same. I didn't read your comment yet, Malachi, but thank you. Participation is limited to cheerleading and fun chats, Eddie says. Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. I know that that's like, I don't like to shut down conversation and be rude, and I do value the desire to want to help me. Like, that is... The compassion is definitely appreciated, but at the same time, I don't want to open any doors to advice. When I'm struggling and suffering and having a bad time, that's just my fate. Boy, I really should have beat him that time, though. I did so much damage to him once when I showed up with not much health. You would think that my entire health bar would be, Oh ho 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 ho. I've never beaten this game before. I couldn't really give helpful advice, even if you're asking. Malachite says. So I can't say that I never ask for help, right? It does happen on the stream sometimes. Usually just a few times a year. It's very rare, and like I have to go through some real agony. Like, some real sunk time before I'm willing to break down and ask for help. Like, I was looking for a secret. I was looking for a secret in Donkey Kong Country for, like, across 3 or 4 streams. I think it totaled up to about 8 hours of time before I finally broke down and asked the chat to give me a hint. It was wild. But I do break down and ask for help sometimes. The worst thing about it, though, is that usually it's with games. Usually when well, maybe not usually, but I ask for help so infrequently, and then at least half the times that it's happened, it's either been that I've been given a piece of advice that I couldn't use for one reason or another, or it was a game that no one had ever played. That's a miserably long time. Yeah. I really wanted to get it, and I wanted to do it on my own. There are hits that, like, I am befuddled as to why they register. And then there are hits that I'm just so befuddled as to why they don't. This is, like... criminal inconsistency. No, the timer again. I kind of started daydreaming during that battle. So, in a way, I deserve to have the timer sneak up on me. Whoever it was that decided that having the final boss send you back to the beginning of World 6 for a death, not even a continue, but just a regular death. Whoever decided that should have to have their driver's license renewed every 3 months. In person. Look at all the practice I'm getting though at this world. Some of those tricky rooms, they're becoming a little less tricky. Please don't die in this room again now. I want enough health to fill my bar back up on the way to the boss. So. All right. Be quick. I stick to the middle platform for a couple reasons. One, because when I jump off of it to the right, there are no obstacles to hinder my progress down to the floor. Right? I don't want to jump on... I don't want to use the pillar on the left because I don't want to have to jump around the center pillar to get back to the floor faster. And I don't want to be worried about accidentally grabbing onto a wall. I guess I could. The one on the left kind of has the same advantages as the middle one. If I could just consistently land hits, it wouldn't really matter where I hung out. Finally. Finally! It's okay. Alright, so I don't even mind repeating World 6 now, because the phase 3 is the easy phase. As I said, I'm bad at it, but I'm more confident in phase 3 than I am in 1 or 2. So even going back, I'm okay, because I know we're gonna beat it now. I was not confident about phase 2, but I know for sure phase 3 we're gonna beat, so. Okay, I do need to be... I do need to be kind of careful not to take a whole lot of damage, is what I was gonna finish that sentence with. Well, I don't get a lot of health right now. Victory! We're done, my friends! We did it! It was ugly and messy, but we somehow did it. Boy, my stomach is rumbling. I gotta have some food. Thank you for being here with me, my friends. That was ugly. But we made it through. I feel a little bit refamiliarized with the game. I'm definitely going to have to play it a lot more. I think we'll do another playthrough on Thursday and see if it goes any better and how much better it goes. So that'll be, let's say, look for that in the second part of the stream on Thursday. But we're gonna be done for tonight, my friends. If I'd made it through a bit faster, if we hadn't had all those crashes, and I'd made it through just a little faster, I probably would have tried for 2 runs tonight. It would have been nice to do it a second time back-to-back, to see if I improved, like, while it was at maximum freshness. But that was not meant to be. Now I want to watch the other 2 NES games. Maybe I'll try messing with this series sometime soon. Give it a try, Lord Malachite. Give it a try. Alright, my friends, I'm gonna send us out with a raid. Just gotta decide where I'm gonna send us. Game is fun, even if frustrating. Yeah, it is. It is a fun game, and the frustration factor goes away the more you practice it. I mean, as with most things, right? But I really think this game is pretty learnable. There's it's not like as learnable as something like Castlevania. not as easily learnable, but it's there. Maybe there's a secret boss. Well, I have beaten this game a handful of times. If it's a secret, it's really well hidden. Alright, my friends, I'm going to send us in the direction of old school McFly, playing Final Fantasy. It looks like probably one of the remasters to me. I'm not really familiar with the series. McFly does retro stuff, and I believe speedrun and challenge attempts too sometimes. I don't get to catch him all that often. Secret boss at the end of loop 6. Oh my goodness, 6 loops of this game? Get out of here. I don't want to hear anything about it. That sounds like a fate worse than death. All right, my friends, I should be back. Every night this week, up to Friday. It's Jankuli. We're gonna play. Trash games at the start of the stream every night. There's probably going to be a lot more Let's Ride Sunshine Stables, so I'd expect to see that at least for tomorrow night. Probably a few nights after that. It looks like it's got to have a lot of stuff for us to slog through. But there'll be more quality stuff, mostly more quality stuff in the second half of every stream. Tomorrow night's Alundra, Thursday Ninja Gaiden, and Friday more Alundra in the second parts of the stream. Thank you for being here, my friends. We are out of stream. Be well until I can see you again. It's time to head out. Let's go on an adventure.